Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday, and I'm playing a little bit more Ace Attorney Investigations Prosecutor's Path. So, to catch up on stuff, the last time that I played, I got through, I think, pretty much the entirety of the previous bits with Gregory and Ray. I don't imagine there's anything more, at least in this chapter. And now we are jumping back into the present, and we're going to try and figure out the whole mystery behind what the heck has been going on as of late, involved in this strange museum, hotel, stuff like that. That's a fancy transition. Thank you very much. It's a lot better than what it used to be, where I was using the classic style, well, a long time ago. This is going on a diatribe, but long time ago I was basing it off of my original video series, which the transitions were quite literally just wipe-ins. Or no, not wipe-ins, it's more just like fly-ins of the backgrounds and stuff. But after a while, I was like, I am super ridiculously bored of this. So I'm just like, screw it. Let's make it dynamic. Box wall. Anyway, enough of me fluffing my own friggin' ego. Let's actually start the game, anyway. Speaking of which, by the way, LCL, since you're in the chat, I might as well just go ahead and say it like right up front. I don't know if you saw my my comment over on YouTube, but yeah, thanks for making the Ace Attorney mod for A Hat in Time. That was fun. It's a pretty fun aside. It was one of those things where I saw the mod on the front page and I'm like, okay, wow, drop everything. We need to try this. So it was interesting. Thank you. But anyway, let me jump over to the actual game and begin. Alright. Inherited Turnabout End Part 1. So what kind of nonsense we go into? Alright. And let me level it out in my own ears, just because the headphones are a little bit loud right now. I tried adjusting them before the stream, but apparently it wasn't enough. There we go. I hope everything's fine on you guys' ends. It should be. I have changed nothing since last time. Anywho, April 2nd, 2:10 p.m., Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio. Ooh, currently working on Act 2, but you have to rework a lot of the systems since you lost the source code. Oh, darn. The entire script is on a Google Doc. Fun. Alright then. Hello, Ray. And that's all Uncle Ray knows about the IS-7 incident. So that's what happened in my father's last case? The truth of the IS-7 incident. What happened at the trial? What do you think? He had a perfect winning streak up until that point. In the end, Von Kama defeated us. So you couldn't prove Mr. Master's innocence? Shrug. We'd gathered plenty of evidence to prove it, but Von Kama was even more despicable than we thought. He was a prosecutor who would do anything for his guilty verdict. Sort of like you a long time ago. That's right, and he really did use any means necessary. Because of this, the trial dragged on for about a year until it finally reached a conclusion. I'll never forget that fateful day when the judgment was passed down. The 28th of December. It's April now, so it's been a little over 17 years. How time flies. The 28th of December, 17 years ago. I was watching from the gallery that day. Oh no, sad wipes into the past again. Before the trial, your old man noticed that Mr. Master was acting strangely. He was at the breaking point, both mentally and physically. He wanted to be found guilty. No! Mr. Master didn't fake a confession, did he? Yeah, that was what Von Kama was aiming for from the start. Wow, so he just shook him finally completely loose and destroyed his soul? I feel bad now. He was such an exciting person on stage. When the old man tried to expose the fact that the body had not been found, Von Kama used the power of his police cronies to quench that argument. He even went as far as to prepare a fake autopsy report. Then, they made Mr. Master give a false testimony, and confess to being an accomplice. With Mr. Master's confession, the situation quickly became dire. But your old man had a trump card up his sleeve. Oh, what would that be? Ooh, hello. Was that The trump card he was talking to Detective Bad about? Yeah. That trump card was to be our insurance in case Mr. Master confessed. He had asked Detective Bad to have Mr. Master's interrogation recorded. Detective Bad wanted to know the truth too, huh? After he was dropped from the investigation, he never stopped caring about the case. Even when he was involved with other large cases, he really was the definition of a true detective. There's the Studley man. The defense presented the recording, which proved that the confession was forced. Well, it seems the detective in charge of the initial investigation and interrogation, Rip Lancer, took all the blame and was charged and dismissed. Still, at the trial, your old man exposed Von Karma's corruption and... Lacer? No N? Oh, oopsies. I don't know, it just seems a lot more harsh to say Lancer. Sorry. Lacer. Von Karma received his first penalty from then Chief Prosecutor. Oh, the only penalty in his oh my god, I remember that line. The only penalty in his 40-year prosecution. He replaced Bad. Rip Lacer. However, Mr. Master didn't want the trial to continue any longer. And the curtains closed on the trial that day with the verdict of guilty. My memory of that time is fuzzy, but I was also there watching my father's final trial. And I think his final regret became my own. Your old man wanted to retrial to prove Master's innocence, but he passed on before he could fulfill his wish. After getting entangled in another case. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Von Karma gets exposed in court. Yes. It breaks my heart even now that I didn't return home with him that day. The judge, yeah, I guess it can be a penalty. And what's more, is to blind myself from my own worthlessness. Uncle Ray put all his hatred on you as a traitor for being Von Karma's pupil. Phoenix sneezes. Judge, guilty! Basically, yeah. I don't know. I think the judge has just had it up to here with this shit. I assume the 3-day period probably didn't do much for him. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's natural you would hate me. Mario in the chat says, it was then the chief prosecutor... Wait, it was the then chief prosecutor who gave the penalty. Yeah. After I became a prosecutor, I was able to get Von Karma to show me the case file. Mr. Master was found guilty for the murder of Isaac Dover. That's not right. Wasn't Mr. Master found guilty of being an accomplice? But the case file says guilty of murder. There shouldn't be anything unresolved in the cases handled by Manfred Von Karma. Wait, can I take a look at that file? It looks like the charges have been rewritten. What? Look at this. Forging evidence, even after being taken... I assume he got the death penalty. The charge is accomplice to murder. This is a copy of the original case file I received from the courts. Why would the charge be altered? This file was given to you by Von Karma, right? Maybe he just didn't want you to know the truth, since you're Gregory's son. He would have wanted to avoid another retrial before the statute of limitations ran out, after all. Oh, crafty asshole. So what I had come to believe back then had all been a lie. If you didn't know about it, just make sure you know from now on. The statute of limitations has long expired, but the truth still sleeps, right here. And that's about all we can do. Know the actual truth. He was said to be dead in Trials and Tribulations. Good lord, I'm gonna have to go back and figure that. I need to go back and maybe watch my previous stream. Just because it is interesting to cut back and just see just how little I knew about the series. After the old man passed away, Uncle Ray took over as Mr. Master's defense attorney. Although Von Karma also had another prosecutor take over the case. Perhaps he thought that since his opponent was a rookie, he didn't even need to turn up. In the end, the real killer was never found, and Mr. Master was found guilty.
No! Is there anything we can do, even now?
Since the killer was never found, he can't withdraw his confession. I found out after the trial that Mr. Master made a deal with Von Karma because Von Karma had threatened him. If you don't confess, Catherine Hall will be held under the same charges.
Wow, shit. That's terrible!
Ace Attorney Investigations 2 fills in tons of stuff. God, I wish this came out in the States. Like, seriously. Like, the more I play this, the more I realize there's a lot of things that I didn't know happened. Who knows? Maybe a translation will come out now that it's the digital ages and it's pretty easy to make translations. Oh. I don't really think Mr. Master really thought that Kate was the killer, but to protect her, he faked a confession. Blackmail, I see. Miles, on the day that Knightley Boy was killed, why do you think Uncle Ray was at the prison?
Oh, I see.
You went to see Mr. Master, didn't you? I said I'd visit him every day. I couldn't keep that promise, but I asked Katie Pie to look in on him for me when I couldn't. Through rain or snow, she went every single day without fail. But nothing has changed, and Mr. Master still serves his punishment. I can't even imagine what his mind would be at this stage. He's been in that prison for so long for a crime he didn't do. I don't know. Like, I feel like unless we give him an absolute crap pile of sugar, I don't know if he would be able to do anything like show-related ever again. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Ooh. Okay, Elsie says, the Daigakuten Saibon game, the one set in Japan, makes a little sense why it doesn't get localized, but Ace Attorney Investigations 2 makes 0 sense. It's sold well. I didn't actually look that up. I didn't look up any of the stats on that. From what I hear, one of the big reasons why it wasn't ported over was because of piracy, and they were getting really sick and tired of having the games being pirated. And because of the digital age, and the fact that they can just port the game in English over a digital download, it'll make it that much harder to pirate stuff. I think that's what it was. It didn't? No. I think piracy was a huge part of it. The game came out 3 weeks before the 3DS in Japan. Oh, interesting. I don't know. I really should have this this information, like the actual information in the stats sitting somewhere. Weird.
That's so sad. Isn't there anything we can do?
No. Statute of limitations is over. I mean, there have been cases in the past. That's why I came here. No. There are cases of things in the past that, if it turns out that it was like a false allegation, and if they can prove it irrefutably, people have gotten off the hook for stuff in court. So maybe. But that's why I say, if he even comes out at this stage, it's not going to be comfortable. Because I knew those ice sculptures would be on display here today. So, what are you going to do, Miles?
I'm a prosecutor. My position is different from you and my father.
Miles?
But moving past my position, what I want as Miles Edgeworth is to know the truth of these two cases. It is for that reason that I am here.
You really are your father's son. Well then, if that's what you decided, I'll support you all the way. I'd better leave the IS-7 documents and evidence with you then. Good, proper documents. Alright, here are the documents. By the way, the pots in orange are Uncle Ray's old notes. Oh, sweet. I think I want to take a look at that. Fan translation is great. Love the effort they put into making it fit the whole Japanifornia Ace Attorney. They've done a heck of a lot of work, like, just the voice acting thing, the translating it, changing up art assets. They've done a ton of work, and I really appreciate it. Also, YouTube, stop replacing my emoticons with lame YouTube ones. It's a shame. Like, that one smiley that I posted in the chat earlier looked like it was melting. If the game ever does come out in English, you won't be able to use official names. So, like, so used to Ray, Sebastian. I know, that would be interesting. It would be kind of cool if there was some kind of a collaboration between the fan edit and the real one. Because those are... I don't know. I've seen some fan translations of stuff in Japan that have come out in the States after a later period in English. And there are some interesting little gaffes, or things that I really wish they would have stuck with. Cave Store being one of them. A couple of the actual official translation things just are really stupid. Thank you. And now here's the IS-7 evidence. There's a lot, so make sure you look it over while you investigate. Received a lot of IS-7 evidence from Mr. Shields.
Right, I'll check through it later.
Anyway, there are so many strange things about this case.
Indeed.
I think that's an understatement.
Those involved in the case 18 years ago have reunited, and another incident occurs. Replicas of the statues from 18 years ago were displayed in the Winter Palace. And poison gas was released in the Autumn Palace, which had been disguised as the Winter Palace. The two chemicals in the Pisces case, normalium and fatalium, were mixed, causing an outbreak of poison gas. And then this doofus, the victim of the poison gas was Dane Gustavia, a person involved in the IS-7 incident. Because he was unconscious, he received treatment in the Zodiac Art Gallery's infirmary. Well, in theory, he's alive, but you're not. Oh, by the way, who the heck is this? I don't think we figured that out. Finally, the dead body found floating in the fountain. And once again, the ice sculptures have melted. Steins Gate, which was localized with the fan translation officially. Steins Gate. I've never heard of that before, but that is really cool. Just, you know, a commission saying, you know, most of the fans, they know your translation. Let's just go with it. We'll clean it up here and there, but that's about it. There are deep connections between the two cases. It's possible there are still some clues left from 18 years ago. Right, let's get started. Oh, good. Hi, you. Just 1 second! Don't tell me you've forgotten about me! Didn't I tell you that I'm the one in charge of this case? Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you intend to continue disrupting Sebastian's investigation... Oh, shut up. I'm not interrupting anything. The word guilty will be added to your PIC report. It's the best character! Ah, yes, in his own mind. What does she mean, guilty? Please allow me to assist in your investigation, as before. I appreciate your proposal, but I'm afraid I must overrule it. That was fast. Even though we're short on hands to identify the victim right now, it's only a matter of time until we figure it out. In that case, I shall take that load off your shoulders at once. Regarding the identity of the unidentified body, one person comes to mind. Really? Then tell us! Very well. Not just the sculptures that have made a comeback from the incident 18 years ago. The body in this fountain is... Oh dear. Who the heck? Alright. Well, I'm super concerned about this one. It was Gumshoe! No. It can't be Justine. Why would it be? She's literally right here, unless it's a doppelganger. You know... Isaac would be long dead at this stage. But after body was found, it somehow disappeared. Unless he was thrown into a freezer... And that would be insane. It's likely that the identity of the body is the victim of the murder that occurred here 18 years ago. Isaac Dover. Also, by the way, this is supposed to be a British brogue or like a Cockney accent. Not doing that. I'm just going to say it again because I'm terrible with Cockney accents. It's Icy's body! Hey, who's that? I've never heard of him. Mr. Isaac Dover, a truly great sculptor, but he was better known as Pierre Hoquet. The sculptures on display here in the museum are all his creations. Ah, so in other words, that sculptor was the best. Somehow I feel a strong kinship to him. Shut your face, you little worm. And he was the victim in the IS-7 incident. She knew about the IS-7 incident. Prosecutor Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident occurred 18 years ago. And what's more, the police reported the removal of the body. That's what's on the record, but I wonder if that really is the truth. The best voice actor sounds like Todd Habercorn, if you know who that is. Oh man, I don't know who Todd Habercorn is. I don't know, I just make him sound as snooty as possible, and yet absolutely has no right to be snooty in any way. What are you saying? The defense attorney in the IS-7 incident claimed that the body was never found. Oh, it's not any official voice actors. I don't know. Not that the prosecution would ever admit to such a thing. I'm not saying anything. Solicitors. Hello? Really? Is something wrong, Sebastian? No, it's just they said that they know who the victim is. And is it indeed who we think it is? It's just as that prosecutor says. It's Dover! No, it can't be! It would seem my father's suspicions were correct. What is it, George Courtney? Have you finally realized that I'm much more helpful than Mr. DeBest? Hey, are you trying to steal DeBest's position for yourself? I'm doing no such thing. I just want to know the truth. And for that to happen, we need to cooperate, no? One of the voice actors is... Oh, ProZD, really? Oh, man. Which voice actor, where, in what context? Sebastian's goes by the name Sonic Shadows. I have no idea. No clue. The truth is none of your concern.
Objection.
I could see Pro D being a good Gregory. I don't think that's true, Courtney Pie. You again? Uncle Ray assisted the defense attorney involved in the IS-7 incident. The one who claimed that Mr. Dover's body was never found. The prosecution denied it at the time, but now the body has been discovered here. In other words, the IS-7 investigation was unjust. And isn't it the duty of the PIC to investigate corrupt prosecutors? Then wouldn't you want to cooperate with those who were involved in the case? Unless you have an ulterior motive. Very smooth individual, this man. Now that I think about it, Judge Courtney knew about the IS-7 incident, so it would seem she really is here because of the PIC. Even if you're related to the incident, I don't see how Prosecutor Edgeworth is. I mean, son. He is the son of the attorney in that case, and a prosecutor taught by Von Karma himself. And what's more, he was in the audience at the IS-7 trial. I'm sure there are many points he can enlighten us on. I mean, that was a while ago. And as a child, I don't know if he remembers much personally. Very well. I will allow you to cooperate. However, your investigation must not hinder the other investigators. The Winter Palace is currently being investigated, but the fountain patio is open to you. That's my Courtney Pie. Now we're talking. As thanks, I will allow you to have a hug with Uncle Ray. Stop hugging people, you crazy bastard. Overruled. If I feel your cooperation isn't needed, I will have to ask you to leave. Understood. Isn't that great, Miles? Now we can start investigating. You really helped us there. Uncle Ray did it all for himself. All right, Uncle Ray's going to investigate too, so let me know if you figure something out. Got it. See you later, you weirdo. Right then, Kay, let's begin the investigation. Okay, let's do this. We still don't know where Mr. Dover's body and the normalium were hidden. We don't have enough information to go on. You're right. Our first priority is the normalium. Well, normalium is used in washing detergents, paints, and the like. If I recall, it's a red liquid with a minty aroma. Well then, let's get looking for that normalium. Well, what would smell like mint the most inside this room? I don't even know. Oh god, let's have a chat with you then. Hey, Edgy, move out of the way! What is it now? I'm in the middle of sketching Justy in all her beauty. I got a feeling this is gonna be my masterpiece. Quit getting in the way of my art. Really? How much have you drawn so far? Well, I only just decided on the composition. The drawing part starts now. Isn't it a bit early to be calling it your masterpiece? Well, this is Laurice we're talking about after all. Sham. There's stuff in the back. I don't know if that would matter. Actually, I haven't really investigated this area, have I? Now that I think about it, I don't think so. Sculptures of a man with the face of a moon and a woman with the face of a sun. The man looks kind of gloomy, though. Were these also made by Pierre Hoquet? Yes, it seems he made these in his youth, when he was enthralled with the stars. The piece is likened to relationships between the moon and the sun to something closer to home. The piece is entitled My Parents. I think we know who wore the pants in that marriage. On the service cart, Miss Hull has prepared her tea set. According to the pamphlet, the museum is also famous for its tea. Yes, it certainly had a flavorful, rich taste. Seems this tea set was also made by Mr. Dover. Oh, so the tea set was made by the victim? Let's take a closer look. Certainly. Well, first of all, before I look at the tea set, I don't know why I'm looking at spoons, but hey, who the heck knows? There's not a single stain on this pure white tablecloth. Oh, I'm looking at the tablecloth, apparently. Take all the edge and focus your mind. Then in one go, pull! Kay, I hope you're not planning to do anything bad. No, don't worry. Even if I fail, the tablecloth would just be dyed a nice black a la tea. The tablecloth looks better white. Please refrain from changing it. I wonder about that. It might look better in another color. Like pink. Or blue. Or tea. Now is a good time to stop talking. There's a container with Ceylon tea leaves in it. To prevent exposure to sunlight and moisture, the container is airtight and made of tin. This should help preserve the quality of the tea leaves. Alright. Enough footing around it. What are you? So this tea set was made by Isaac Dover. Fancy stuff, huh? Okay, I'd say this tea set is worth thousands of dollars. Please be careful with it. This tea set is such a treasure? Please don't look so excited. If I recall correctly, Miss Hull was a huge fan of Mr. Dover. Alright, well, we're taking a look at that and have more information on that one. Hey, Edgy! What is it? Be careful with that teapot! Why must I be warned by him of all people? Right, yes, take it away before it gets broken. Madame and Monsieur. Hello, Kate. Would you care for some tea? Miss Hull. Katie! No, I'm fine, thanks. Kay and Edgy, you guys have can have some.
Well, since you asked, we might as well take a short break.
Certainly.
I would not drink anything in this vicinity since we know that there's poison somewhere. Like, well, you know, combinations of chemicals, but still, people are nearly dead.
Thanks for the tea.
Fine aromas.
Wow, it's so tasty.
What kind of tea is this, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's Ceylon tea, known for its citrus aroma. However, Miss Hull, is this the same tea you served us this morning?
Yes, that's right. Was it not to your liking?
No, it's not that. The tea we had this morning had a slightly different aroma.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
How strange. It is the same Ceylon tea I served this morning. There shouldn't be anything different about it.
Oh, dear. I hope that this is not, again, another poison situation.
What's wrong with you, Edgy?
Quit nitpicking about the tea Katie so kindly prepared for you.
Larry, what are you getting so upset about?
I'm not upset. You're just being a rude jerk. And I told you to call me Maurice. Jeez, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. You're going to break that within 5 seconds, I know you.
It's like arguing with a child.
Well, Maurice, I wonder what's wrong.
I'd like to ask him that later myself. And I also need to speak with Miss Hull. I don't have any evidence that shows she is the culprit, but...
I mean, really. She's one of the few people that had, that was there that couldn't... That didn't really... I mean, I guess she might have had some kind of alibis in some way. I don't even know. I'm trying to remember.
I dare say she is the one who set up the poison gas trap.
And we can't be sure. Before we talk to her, though.
This lift trolley has just been left here.
I wonder if it was used recently to carry something heavy.
The surface of the platform appears to be wet.
I remember seeing this lift trolley someplace before. You mean during the IS-7 incident? Yeah, that's right. I remember now. It was in Dober's room. If I remember correctly, it was used to transport the ice sculptures. The lift trolley has a feature that allows you to adjust the height and angle of the platform. With just one of these, a single person could move the sculptures all by themselves. Weird. Noted. Wow, how convenient. I want one too. What are you going to be moving that is that heavy? Why is there a lift trolley here? I guess that's something we'll need to think about.
Yes, it could be related to the case.
Do you think he has a brother named Bendover? Absolutely. What are you doing? Prosecutor DeBest ordered me not to let you investigate anything but this room. I absolutely cannot let you pass through any further than this. I'm sorry.
I won't, since I can't pass through anyway. You're standing in front of a wall.
No! After all, you're Prosecutor Edgeworth. If you really wanted to, this wall wouldn't stop you. Wow, you're even more fearsome than I thought, Mr. Edgeworth.
Just what kind of human do these people think I am?
A very scary one. You have a scowl that could scare a puppy.
On the shelf are trophies commemorating Isaac Dover's work as Pierre Hoquet. He truly was a first-rate artist. There are quite a number of trophies lined up here.
I remember you have some trophies too, Mr. Edgeworth. I would love to have some too, if only there were a contest for thieves. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? We could hold one at the prosecutor's office. No, because that's a place where things get stolen and then lives are at stake.
I don't mind you holding a contest, but all the participants would be arrested.
We got the door. Can I look at this, I guess? There's a fir tree in front of the door.
But that door leads to the Autumn Palace. Fir trees are winter trees, so this must have been placed here as a red herring.
Well then, why don't we paint it in autumn red?
Okay, fir trees are green all year round.
I knew that. The other one, I guess. There's a maple tree in front of this door.
But that door leads to the Winter Palace. Maple trees are autumn trees, so this must have been placed here as a red herring.
Well then, how about we freeze it to make it look like a maple tree in the winter?
Please don't complicate matters any further.
Such strange logic, I love it. It's a statue of a brave warrior fighting a snake! Was this also made by Pierre Hoquet?
It appears to be one of his early works when he was enamored with fantasy and myths. The statue represents his heroic resolution to oppose hopeless difficulties in his youth. The title is The Math Test.
Ah, I know that feeling all too well. Have you ever played Danganronpa before? I haven't, but I know it exists. It's kind of one of those things that I haven't really actively gone and looked for. I don't know. Is it good? Is it just like RPG-esque? Oh, this is just the Brave Warrior thing again. What are you doing?
Larry, tell me what you're hiding.
You two, stop glaring at each other like that! I'm not glaring, Kay. I'm using my artist perspective. Edgy's the one who was glaring.
Then if you know what's good for you, you will tell me what you're hiding right now.
No, wait, dude! Didn't I say that I'm not talking to you anymore?
Aren't you talking to me right now?
From now on, I'm definitely not talking to you anymore.
I'm not going to get anywhere like this. Looks like I'll have to force it out of him.
Oh, a little bit of logic chess? I don't even know. If I like Ace Attorney, I'll probably enjoy Danganronpa. I'll look it up.
Larry, what are you hiding?
Hey, come on, Mr. Edgeworth. This isn't the time to be playing around, you know.
I wasn't playing around.
Still, it looks like Maurice won't be talking anytime soon.
If he isn't going to talk to us willingly, I'll just have to force him to talk. Just what is Larry hiding? Perhaps I should investigate a bit more. I should continue investigating around the fountain patio.
Okay, so that's something I cannot do. It's a similar kind of game, just a very different setting. I will look into it. I've been considering jumping over to, trying out some of the, well, basically because, like, there's a Phoenix Wright versus, a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney versus, Professor Layton. And I have played Layton games in the past. I thought about playing those too. Oddly enough, they're kind of within the exact same kind of era. Just a little bit. Okay. So, let's talk with you. Try Ghost Trick. I am going to have to take note of all these things after the stream. Cool, cool.
Miss Hall, where have you been until now?
I was showing the remaining guests out and handing out complimentary gifts as an apology. Did you require my service?
Yes, there are a few things I want to ask you about. If my suspicions are correct, she's the one who set up the poison gas trap.
Ghost Trick is another game developed by the creator of Ace Attorney. Ooh, neat. Alright, I might be interested in that. Very good at puzzles, so I would like to see those puzzles there.
How exactly did you prepare the melted sculptures from 18 years ago?
That's one thing I've been wondering too. Because I'm just like, how did anybody see them? And how did you make, like, exact replicas?
So you know about what happened 18 years ago? It's because 18 years ago I photographed Monsieur Del's
Sculptures, okay, that's why.
Using the photos as a base, I managed to create replicas.
Replicas?
The Zodiac sculptures had been an unfinished work, so I wanted to complete it somehow. Because I am the one who accidentally melted Monsieur Del's sculptures.
It's a little bit more German.
And could you tell me why the Autumn Palace resembles the Winter Palace so much?
Well, my apologies. Did they really look so alike? I think I may have gotten some of the decorations mixed up.
She's obviously lying. But I haven't gathered any evidence to prove that yet.
Okay. Was there anything else with the cart?
Oh, I already checked the area? Okay, so... Unless there is some specific logic I'm supposed to use, which I don't think so. Speaking of which... What do I got logic-wise? Minty aroma. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. This is what I was worried about. Normalium is a red liquid with a minty aroma. Smells different from the tea we had this morning. Did something change? Who's been mixing chemicals in with the tea? Oh, thank God. All right. The pieces don't fit together quite right. Good. Well, now I just need to think about why the heck the tea would taste different from this morning. Also, what the heck is this? This smell and this color. Don't tell me this is a puddle of tea. Alright, there's a piece of pottery in the middle of the puddle. Oh, something's broken. I wonder what broke. I think I recognize the design. I should probably show this to that man and see what he has to say. That man? Which specific man are we talking about? Are we talking you? Or... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, God. Larry, why? Oh. Come on, man. Larry, take a look at this. What's that? Larry, I've got a feeling that what you're hiding is related to the tea and this pottery shard. Well, if you're not going to talk to me, I can always hand this shard over to Judge Courtney. Wait! I'm trying to keep a clean image for Justy. I don't want to see how I don't want her to see how I've dirtied myself. I can't imagine what part of you can be considered clean, but... especially since the butts always smells. If you don't want her to declare you guilty, I suggest you speak truthfully now. I got it, I'll tell you. Good. I wish there was more Ace Attorney-like games. Only Ace Attorney, Danganronpa, Aviary Attorney. Aviary Attorney? Is that a spin-off, or is that an entire other game? What the heck? I did see that there is, like, fan-made Ace Attorney, court missions and things like that, like Ace Attorney Online. But, boy, you really are kind of picking some particular battles with that one, because you have to go through not just this game's logic, but other people's logic, and some people's logic might not fit. Harvey Birdman, where? Larry, it's time you confess to what you've done. How could you be so cruel to your best friend? The same way you can be so dishonest to your best friend. Well, you could stop glaring at me. I promise to tell the truth this time for sure. Ace Attorney is an Ace Attorney inspired game, but the gimmick is everyone is a bird. Oh, shit. Oh, it reminds me of Hatoful Boyfriend. That's not a good thing, because I might get it now. I just thought I'd pour Justy some tea, but my hand kind of slipped a bit, and it broke. I accidentally broke the crazy expensive teapot! The butt strikes again. Why am I not surprised? Oh boy, you've really done it this time, Laurice. What should I do, Edgy? Katie'll hate me! Crying to me about it won't solve anything. First, you should apologize to Miss Hull. There we go.
Is that so? My teapot was...
Katie, I'm so sorry. I don't have any money, but I'll draw you as many portraits of you as you like. Of course you'd love to do that. Detective Grimoire, which is pretty cool. Okay.
Please kindly raise your head, monsieur. It is I who should apologize. I didn't notice the broken shards. It's dangerous, so I'll tidy up the broken pieces. Allow me to take this piece from you as well.
Wasn't this tea set one of Isaac Dover's works? I heard that it was very important to you.
Yes, but there's no use crying over spilled tea. Besides, I still have another one of those teapots left.
Is she not as attached to Doba's work as she used to be? Maybe she never was. Oh. Katie, you're so kind. Oh, that other teapot you were talking about, is it the one on that cot?
Yes.
Truth is, when I was trying to hide the broken shards, I looked under that cot, and I found a teapot that looked exactly the same, so I switched them.
Really?
Yeah, everything's cool now. I took great care to make sure no one would break that pot. You don't brag about that when you were the one who broke it in the first place. I'm sorry.
I don't mind. Thank you for your cooperation.
Yeah, gee, Katie is a really nice lady, isn't she? You should reflect on how you cause trouble for people like her. Okay, when I make it big as an artist, I'll donate paintings. In fact, I'll even welcome you as my own personal model. I think it'd be better if you just stopped causing trouble. No, that'll never happen. Really, you are living in a fantasy world. I hope you haven't done anything else. I haven't. I just stood around sketching beauties. Bad enough, bad enough. Sketching beauties?
If you're interested, I can let you take a peek. I guess even Mr. Edgeworth is interested in beauties.
It's not like that. I just thought it might be another one of his strange paintings.
He does tend to write... He tends to sketch out some of the worst moments.
How dare you? I'm very confident in my work this time.
Ooh, I want to see too. Whoa, I'm glad you're so honest about it, Kay.
I'll get it ready, so come check it out later. I guess I'll have him show it to me later. Right. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Sure. About the sketch you mentioned just now?
What? If you wanted to see my art, you should have been honest about it from the start.
Look, here it is. One of these pictures is not like the other. One of these things is very wrong. What is this?
I already told you it's a sketch of beauties.
But just be clear, the beauties only refer to Justy and Katie. Oh, of course. Thanks for making that clear. But that other plump lady has nothing to do with that.
Then why did you draw her on the same page?
Well, I was taking a break from my still life paintings when those beauties caught my eye. I guess I just drew them on the same page without thinking. So you're saying that the pictures on this page were each drawn separately? Oh yeah, I may have drawn them at different times. By the way, there's a drawing of the beautiful little Miss K on another page.
Wow, beautiful, huh?
Thanks. Larry, you drew this exactly as you saw it, correct?
Well, yeah, even I can't draw what I can't see.
There are people... Oh my god, that is so against what artists are capable of doing. Jesus.
I recreated the scene perfectly, even the delicate shades.
Delicate shades, huh? I don't want to admit it, but this picture might be of help to the investigation. The contents of this sketch and the service cart and the fountain patio. It seems there is a contradiction between the two. I'll need to expose this contradiction using my powers of deduction. Could I borrow this sketch for a while?
Sure, I could even sign it for you if you like.
I think I'll pass.
No, the thing I'm concerned about is, why the heck do we have a blue sheet that's just being draped inside the fountain? Larry is a still life artist, Mario says. His art is what he sees. It may be completely wrong, but it's what his eyes say. Well, I mean, he is really good at drawing what he sees. Oh, but for God's sake. Like, artists do have the ability of visualizing whatever it is they want to, they want to draw. Like, do you think every single time Bob Ross, had to do one of his Enjoy a Painting episodes, do you think they brought him out to location and he just, drew those mountains? No. He drew them from his head, after years of experience in mountains. Okay. Yes, artists can, but Larry cannot. Fair. Okay, so
Let me look at my organizer. Oh, also, I didn't look at some of the evidence from the previous... Oh, right, a whole bunch of this stuff is just from that... Basically, a bunch of the evidence from the previous thing are coming to the forefront now. Got it. There's the murder weapon. Oh, here's this family photo. Nice. I want to take a look at this real quick. It looks like there's some candy sitting on the table, which it doesn't appear that that's the case. But how do I go about deducing that one? I see no candies, and therefore... Objection! Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Let's test it. Larry, there's something I want to ask you about your sketch.
You want a lecture on sketching from the famed prosecutor? Wait, professor rather, not a prosecutor.
If Larry ever becomes a prosecutor in one of these games, I think I'm just going to drop my controller and leave. Just like, I'm done. Screw it. No, I just need to ask you something. The tablecloth in your sketch, are you sure it was light blue? Oh. Oh, shit. I did not even notice that. You were completely wrong, but somehow right. I knew it was about the card. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, my eyes never fail me.
But the one on the service cart here is white, isn't it?
Dude. You're always so busy thinking with just your head that you miss the obvious.
What's with that look on your face?
When I drew that painting, I was using the cart with the tea set on it, remember? Because I was tidying up the broken pottery shards.
That's not something to be proud of.
And right then, Katie came out of the Winter Palace. I had to hurry and hide the broken teapot so that she wouldn't notice it.
Did you just say Miss Hull came out of the Winter Palace?
Yeah, that's right. But this time she was pushing another service cart. And the tablecloth was light blue, just like how I drew it.
Hum. What did she do with that service cart?
Yeah, it beats me. She went into the summer palace with it, so I don't know. And when she came out, she was pushing the lift trolley.
The lift trolley?
When I called out to her, she was so surprised that she just left it there. She's so cute when she's shy.
You don't realize what you've unearthed. A second service cart and a lift trolley?
Maybe there were 2 tea sets along with 2 service carts?
We'll have to verify it with Miss Hull. Yeah, I don't think so. I can see this one from a mile away. Hi. Is it true you keep 2 service carts on the premises?
Yes, is there something wrong?
Earlier, I was looking at one of the sketches from that so-called artist, and I noticed that he had drawn the cart's tablecloth light blue.
Light blue? Are you sure you were mistaken, monsieur? I only ever use the tablecloths that are pure white. That's true, the tablecloth here doesn't have a single spot on it. Yes, that's because I always change them immediately whenever they get dirty.
Did Larry really get the color wrong then? What were you doing when this sketch was drawn?
At that time, I was just doing my job as usual.
Then could you tell me exactly what that work entails?
Getting to the bottom of it.
What were you doing when you were drawn in the sketch? I don't know why this is admissible evidence. I mean, it's not. But, like, admissible for investigative purposes. It was drawn by a buffoon. From the looks of the drawing, it doesn't seem like you were transporting the tea set.
This was when I was delivering chocolates to all the people in the investigation. Ah, how nice. Chocolates! I wish I could have gotten some too. There are still a few left, so please eat some then. I made them myself. so it's possible they might not suit your taste.
Woohoo! Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wouldn't eat anything from this lady. Stop!
Perhaps it's because she had them in her pocket, but it looks like they've melted a bit.
Nope. That's just how they come standard.
The sweet goodness. I'm happy to hear you say that.
These chocolates are a little misshapen, but I'm glad to get some sugar into my system.
Oh boy, howdy, you got that right.
Although they're a little too sweet for my taste.
I see. Well, I'm sure they would have been absolutely perfect for Mr. Master then. Okay, so now that we've gone and done that nonsense. Yep. Oh fuck! Shit! Hold up. Wrong button. See, I'm currently playing a bunch of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild again, and I am now getting used to Nintendo's controls where A, B, X, and Y are, and not on this Xbox controller I'm using to control the freaking game. Anyway. I'd say this makes sense. Yup.
Maybe the reason why the Ceylon tea smelled different was because the pots had been switched.
Really?
The taste of the tea itself did not actually change after all. Let's go ask Miss Hall about it in more detail.
More talks?
Miss Hall, was the reason why the Ceylon tea smelled different because the pots were switched?
Yes, that's certainly possible.
It had a fresh minty aroma, not unlike that of Ufa.
Oh god. My fear is back.
I remember now, I prepared some mint tea yesterday. I'm sure that the aroma just happened to remain in the teapot.
Is that really all there is to it?
Nope. Damn.
A minty aroma was emanating from the pot Larry had replaced.
Miss Hall said the aroma was left over from some mint tea she prepared yesterday.
Indeed. She seems less surprised to find out that Larry broke the teapot, and more surprised by the fact that the pots had been switched.
That's right. Normally, it would have been the reverse. A broken teapot is much more shocking.
She was probably trying to hide the teapot.
Hide the pot?
One of the characteristics of normalium is a minty aroma. There's a possibility that she was hiding normalium inside this teapot.
What? Inside the pot?
It is only a possibility for now, but it's one worth investigating.
Someone get forensics in here.
Mr. DeBest, I assume you haven't found the normalium yet?
Oh! I've had the entire art museum searched, but I haven't received any reports yet. And what about you? Don't you have any ideas?
Only one.
I knew it. Nobody but me would be able to find it. Wait, what? You have an idea where it is?
Indeed.
Then tell me!
It may have been in this teapot that Miss Hall had used.
Oh, this teapot is pretty nice. It would make the perfect present for the best prosecutor. No, it's also very expensive.
It's not a present. It's an important piece of evidence.
Oh, it's just evidence. Then I guess I'll have forensics take a look at it.
Good. Do it.
Yes, sir.
Monsieur Edgeworth, is there something wrong with the teapot I used?
This teapot has a minty aroma to it.
Did she swap the teapots and now it won't have a minty aroma to it?
It's the same aroma.
Oh, sorry, wrong voice.
It's the same aroma as one of the two chemicals used to create the poison gas.
Monsieur Edgeworth, surely you don't mean you suspect me of having set off the poison gas?
I do. Setting up the poison gas trap in the Autumn Palace would have required some preparation. And the curator of this museum, you're the only one who...
Oh, as the curator of the museum, rather.
You're the only one who could have prepared it in advance.
I wonder about that. Preparations for the opening of the museum took about a week, and I received help from both outsiders and Madame Delicia. I think there are people besides me who are also suspicious.
Of course, Delicia is also under scrutiny.
Furthermore, I don't even know how to create something like poison gas. Even if you found normalium in my teapot, there's no way I could have prepared the poison gas.
Really? We'll see.
Well then, I look forward to hearing the analysis results of the teapot.
Her excuse is that she doesn't know how to prepare the poison gas. I must find a way to shatter that excuse. What would she have done in the past to prove that? Do I have anything in my pocket that would prove that to not be the case? Well, that's the facts about it. There's a gas burner. I don't think that would be in. Larry drew a sketch of the... I mean, I don't know if she was... I'm trying to think back and remember if there were any particular points where she would have been in the vicinity of that knowledge. Chocolate. I ain't sure. I feel like I need to, like, present something to her or something. Also, let's take a gander around. Is there anything else? Well, no. Oh, heck, you know what, Kay? Have any ideas? If normalium is found in the teapot with will Miss Hall be arrested? I don't think someone who seems so gentle could ever be a true murderer. It isn't good to judge people by their outward appearance, Kay. Although it's true that it would be an upsetting conclusion. I should try asking Mr. Shields and Delicia for their opinions as well. Right, talking with people. Good idea. Miles, how's the investigation going? Well, little by little, I'm beginning to see the entire truth behind the case. Oh, it's good to hear. Uncle Ray had better not fall behind either. Alright, let's see if there's any more connections we might be able to figure out. And maybe you'll tell us whether or not Kate would be interested in the chemicals. This case seems to have a lot in common with the case 18 years ago. Ah, great. The melted ice in the Winter Palace and the body of the victim from 18 years ago. I wonder why nobody ever noticed the body was missing after all this time. The only family Mr. Dover had was a young son. His son and Mr. Gustavia's son, who attended the same elementary school. I feel like this son is going to turn up. After the case, they both went missing. What? And they haven't been found yet? I haven't heard any news about Mr. Gustavia's son being found. But as for Mr. Dover's son, he was found and his inheritance was delivered to him. And because of that, Mr. Dover never had a proper funeral. That way, they were able to make it look like the body had been in police custody. The autopsy report had also been forged, so nobody but the defense ever found out. Von Karma, you would go that far? Oh, yes, he would. Though it doesn't seem like you have any other info aside from that. Delicia. Delicioso. Oi, how's the investigation coming along? Have you found anything? Hoi, not quite actually. We haven't found any clues yet. You're doing it wrong. Hoi is only used when you're showing someone something. Also, yes, is used to confirm and is also a greeting. Ip is used when you're afraid. Fi is used when you don't like something. Oi is used when you're calling someone. I see. I didn't know it was that deep. Oi, Mr. Edgeworth, did you catch all that? Kay, be more serious. Yeah, see. Shit. Is that everything? Really? How's the investigation coming along? Found anything? No, doing it wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm out of logic. Yeah, I don't have any logic left. Which is odd to say. Oh, what else? I feel like I need to, like, present something to somebody in some capacity. Let's see. Tabit lost here. Let me see.
Remind me again, Kay. Let me just read through this really quick and let me actually absorb what you're saying. So, we need to prove that somehow Kate would know how to mix normalium together. With, like, you know, fatalium. Try asking Mr. Shields and Delicia for their opinions. Well, I've asked them already, and it doesn't seem like they're all that interested. Unless somehow Mr. Shields has spontaneously decided to have a new prompt. No. Did I look at the fountain? I don't think I did.
It appears the body has already been recovered by the police.
Why was the body of the victim from 18 years ago found floating in the fountain? I mean, wouldn't the body have gone all goopy after 18 years?
Yeah, you'd be surprised what a freezer can do. I don't know if I would call it goopy. It certainly would have required a special method to preserve the body.
Yeah, I wonder if such a method even exists. Hey, Mr. Forensics Guy, any new information? Yes. Normalium and fatalium have been detected in the fountain water. They must have flowed through the stream from the Autumn Palace to the fountain. Aside from the chemicals, we also found high levels of sugar. We're working hard on investigating.
Sugar in the fountain water? What could have caused that?
Oh, interesting. So I think that's the thing I was missing.
This is Edgeworth.
Oh no, Gumshoe. It's Gumshoe, sir! Where have you been looking up?
Did something happen? Actually, right now, all the investigators but me have left the Winter Palace. So I can finally tell you what we found. It's not good for a detective to be leaking out information about the investigation.
No, shut your trap. Let him leak.
His resourcefulness has saved me many times these past few days. All the sculptures in the Winter Palace have melted. There's still some liquid left in the cases, but there's less in the Gemini case than in the Taurus case.
There's still liquid in the glass cases?
Yes, sir. We just investigated the light blue liquid a moment ago. We only detected sugar in the Taurus case, but for some reason in the Gemini case, we detected 3 different substances.
That's about right. 3 substances. What do you think?
They consisted of sugar.
Oh, Jesus! Salt and blood!
Blood! Blood and salt were detected in the Gemini's case.
Oh, okay, so used blood, well, used salt for the case of preserving the body? I guess that would dry it out.
I wonder whose blood it could have been. I've asked forensics to look into it, sir.
Right, I leave it to you, detective.
That reminds me. The forensics investigating the fountain patio contacted me. Seems the sugar found in the fountain matches that found in the light blue liquid.
Oh, that sounds like valuable information.
Is that all the new information you have for me? Now that you mention it, we found the rainbow light device in there too.
The device was used to disguise the Autumn Palace. It seems the device that was used in the IS-7 incident is also connected to this one. I should listen to what Delicia has to say about that.
I have to go back to investigating now. When we get the results of the blood test, I'll let you know right away.
Yes. Thank you, Detective. Now's the dialogue with Delicia open. Was that Gummy calling? That sure was a long call.
But thanks to him, we now have an important piece of information.
What?
In order to break Miss Hall's alibi, I'll need to talk to everyone involved in the IS-7 incident.
Very well. Let's do so.
Delicia, would you be willing to aid in the investigation?
Yes, see, of course. Anything from Miley and Kay Faye, I'll listen to whatever you have to say.
I was wondering if you could stop calling me Miley.
And stop calling me Kay-Faye.
Fine, that's out of the question. I can't change a name I've already decided on.
Even if we ask her, she won't listen to what we have to say at all. Kind of reminds me of, like, there are a few people I know that they don't even really remember you by your full name. They remember you by a nickname, and that's it. Speaking, what's your name? Roger? I don't know. You're spiffy now. What? Why spiffy? Because you're wearing that suit.
Do you know anything about the decorations that are used in this museum? Specifically, the fluorescent clothes and a special device called a rainbow light device?
Yes, see, of course I do. Because they are presents that I gave to Katie. As an apology for breaking the rules 18 years ago, I gave her 4 new rock salt lamps and the 4 fluorescent claws I used in the contest.
Wow, that sounds nice. Fluorescent cloths and rock salt lamps.
Seems like only us girls can understand how wonderful they are.
That's a cruel thing to say, Miss Delicious. I like them too, you know.
Fie! That was back when Ray Ray was still a cute little boy.
Back when Mr. Shields was a cute little boy? I can't even imagine it.
Are they the same decorations you saw 18 years ago?
Probably. The rock salt lamps, the cloth, and the rainbow light device, they all seem the same.
4 fluorescent claws were used in the Autumn Palace. But I have a feeling I saw 1 more of the same cloth.
That's true! Look, I got the proof right here in my bag!
What is she searching for?
Not this, not that either.
I remember seeing cloth like that recently.
Yeah, I remember that.
Let's show Delicia and have her confirm my suspicions.
Sure.
Wasn't there a dirty rag in your bag that looked similar to this?
Fie, I'm not gonna give any information to someone who calls it a dirty rag.
Then would it be better if I called it a washcloth?
Fie, wrong again! It's a fluorescent cloth.
Oopsie, that was supposed to be a secret.
Please tell me all you know about this fluorescent cloth.
Got it.
Please tell me the reason why you hid the cloth.
Oh, I guess I have no choice since the cat's out of the bag. I found this cloth floating in the fountain.
Oh, so the cloth wasn't being put in, it was being taken out. You ruined our investigation, lady.
And right after that, I was called to the Autumn Palace.
So that's the moment Larry captured his so-called sketch of beauties.
At first, I thought one of the fluorescent claws I'd given Kate had washed away.
But didn't you only give 4 fluorescent claws as a present to this museum?
There were 4 fluorescent claws covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace, right? So that's when I realized that this was the cloth that went missing 18 years ago.
Shit.
The poison gas broke out because someone had stolen my Megatoxin X. So I thought the fluorescent cloth had also been used for the crime. I was afraid I'd be suspected, so I didn't say anything about it to anyone.
I don't know, you're plenty suspicious now that you're hiding evidence.
I see.
But I sure feel a lot better after talking about it. Stress isn't good for your figure, after all.
And so is all the sweets you're bringing in, but, you know, we're not complaining about that.
18 years ago, the cloth that was wrapped around the body went missing. Who would have thought it would turn up in the fountain along with the body?
Logical. Alright, let's talk about the poison gas then.
I'd like to ask you something since you're a pharmacist. Exactly how would one gain the knowledge required to set off poison gas?
Here we go.
Oh, that's basic knowledge for any pharmacist acquainted with Megatoxin X. It even says on the warning label, danger, do not mix with normalium.
Then, is there another way for someone who isn't a pharmacist to obtain that information?
It might be possible if they've seen the angel's recipe.
The recipe book that was on the was the grand prize of the contest 18 years ago?
Since it also contains the recipe to prepare Megatoxin.
Right. Oh, God.
Does this mean that you've also seen the contents of the angel's recipe?
Yeah, see, that's a given, of course. The pharmaceutical company I work for is the Master Group. It's the company that makes the Cold Killer X medicine.
Cold Killer X. The cold medicine that promises to kill colds good.
After Jeff declared guilty, the company took back the recipe book. However, only a small group of elite pharmacists have been allowed to see it, though.
So this woman is also a part of that small group of elite pharmacists. And so much suspicion is piling on. Piling and piling and piling. Right. So that's one person involved with the thing. We have two more, and I'll talk with this one first. Mr. Shields, could you tell me what kind of person Miss Hall is?
Miles, don't tell me. You're also interested in Katie?
No.
Well, all joking aside, all Uncle Ray can say is that Kate I know is truly admirable. A truly admirable woman. What is wrong with English? For 18 years, she has always wanted to remain here and wait for Master's return. However, she was driven out of the mansion by Master's relatives.
What? She was driven out of the mansion?
That's because Kate isn't related by blood to Mr. Master. With no family and her job taken from her, she could only live on with the song and dance that Mr. Master had taught her. Well, she's now retired as a world-famous actress, though.
Why did she retire?
Because she'd already saved up enough money to buy this mansion. Seems she even got back the Angel's recipe that had been taken by the Master Group.
Wow, that's either spite or she's got a plan.
This mansion where she lived with Mr. Master had been everything to her. She probably just wanted to take back everything that she lost.
It seems that Mr. Shields sympathizes with Miss Hall, but you could also say that her actions have taken away everything Mr. Master had.
My suspicion, rather. Kate got back the mansion and the Angel's recipe, so let's try and connect these two then. The Angel's recipe also contains the method. Oh my god! Yep, to prepare the poison gas, and she's got the book, so she would know how.
The method used to set off the poison gas is explained in the Angel's recipe, and the current owner of the Angel's recipe is Miss Hall.
Ah, so that means...
Indeed, it means that it is possible she knew how to set off the poison gas. With this, we can expose her lies for what they are.
Investigation complete. And health up. Good.
Now all that's left is to wait for the results of the teapot.
To be continued. And let's keep it going, shall we? I didn't save throughout the entire thing, because I hadn't actually gotten to an interrogation. Living on the edge. April 2nd, 2:33 p.m. Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio. What's up? I have a report. We have detected traces of nomalium from the teapot.
You can't be serious!
It's just like Mr. Edgeworth said.
Darn it! Did Mr. Edgeworth take the title of the best from me again? Mr. DeBest, it seems like you have an obsession about being the best. But when you're on a case, winning and losing is of no importance.
What are you saying? Obviously, it's best to be the best at everything.
If you can't understand that, then you have no business being a prosecutor.
Right, yeah, I think she thinks otherwise. Please stop harassing Sebastian. Sebastian, a person of your caliber has no need to listen to such things. Yeah, you're right. Please leave this to me. Why don't you go check on the victim's condition?
More like the worst.
Waka waka! Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll be right back then. All right, I'll be waiting.
Judge Courtney is much more troublesome than Mr. De Best.
Well then... Miss Curator, can you tell us why normalium was discovered in the teapot? I was not aware that it contained such a chemical. I suppose it may have been an ingredient from the detergent I had used. So you're saying that you did not put it in deliberately? No, of course not. There's no way for me to have known how to create the poison gas.
Oh, really? Despite being a former actress, it seems you're not very good at lying.
What do you mean?
I mean you're sweating bullets, madam. The angel's recipe is in your possession, and the method to create the poison gas is contained inside the recipe book. So you must have known how to create it.
I'm surprised you knew about that. Miss Curator, is this true? It is true as that information about the poison gas is contained in one of the recipes. However, just because I saw it does not mean that I was responsible for the crime. Would you tell me what set off the poison gas? It was caused by the victim heating the lid of the glass case with a burner. I see. If he locked himself in that room of his own will and then set off the poison gas, wouldn't that suggest suicide?
Does she intend to deny it until the bitter end?
Furthermore, I wouldn't have been able to obtain a chemical like Megatoxin X.
That may be true, but you could have stolen it from someone else.
That reminds me, I met up with Katie a week ago, and that night was when I realized that my Megatoxin X was gone. Convenient. Katie, you couldn't have... Madame Delicia always carried her medicine bag around with her. Anyone could have stolen it.
That's right. I don't have any proof that she was the one who stole it.
Katie, can't you tell us what you're hiding? I know you're not the kind of person who would hurt someone without a reason. Muncha Shields, you doubt me as well? Setting a trap on one of the gallery exhibits, and then disguising the rooms. I just think it would have been impossible for anyone but the curator. That's not true. There are no guards or security cameras at this gallery. If any ill-intentioned person wanted to sneak into the gallery, it would have been an easy task for them. Then, isn't it like an all-you-can-steal buffet in here? Sit down, girl, down! You have to be careful. You never know when a great thief could appear.
He doesn't sound like a joke when Kay says it.
Actually, Muncho Gustavia apparently entered the gallery before it opened. Well, I'm beat. Looks like Uncle Ray can't do anything to break down Kate's iron guard. This might be a good time to use the technique your old man taught me.
The technique my father taught you?
And this case is deeply connected to the one from 18 years ago. If we just pursue the present case, it may seem like there's a lot we don't understand. But if we try turning things around, there might be a hint in the case from the past.
Thinking the other way around. Did my father do that too?
For example, just consider the relationship between the past case and Kate.
Miss Hull melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures 18 years ago. And today, Mr. Dover's works are on display in this gallery. It can't be cheap.
I see.
And now I know what to ask her.
That's good to hear. In that case, Uncle Ray will just watch over you as you do your work.
Miss Catherine Hull. 18 years ago, it seems that you melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures.
Yes, I was young and inexperienced, and I did something inexcusable.
However, isn't that why you were able to open the Zodiac Art Gallery?
I don't know what you mean. I don't understand either. Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you seek her testimony?
Yes, I would like her to tell me about the Zodiac Art Gallery. I would like to know the reason you decided to open a gallery from Mr. Dover's artwork.
If you insist that this is related to the case at hand, I will allow it. Miss Curator, your testimony, if you please. Very well, if that will clear your suspicion about me. Now then, please testify about the Zodiac Art Gallery.
Let's see.
18 years after Monsieur Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back this mansion. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. I collected Pierre Hoquet's work from all over the world. After all, it was my dream to open a Zodiac art gallery. It's wonderful that your dream has come true. What do you think, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I don't believe there was anything strange about her testimony.
Give me a minute. Judge Courtney, I believe in the courtroom it is standard to cross-examine the witness. Wouldn't you agree it's a little too early to say that there are no contradictions?
You speak like a defense attorney. Very well. Proceed as you please.
Let's see.
18 years ago, after Monsieur Master was arrested, finally able to break...
Must have taken a lot of hard work because... work these past 18 years to buy back the mansion.
Oh god, singing.
The place full of my memories. With Monsieur Master, it is the only place for me. I don't know what the tune is. No matter what, at any cost, I wanted it back.
Back, rather.
She looks like she's having fun.
Clappity clap.
Well, she is a former actress. Singing and dancing is her livelihood.
Enough with the singing. Please continue your testimony.
Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery.
Are you managing this gallery by yourself?
Yes, then I say manage, but it's only open today. And I must continue protecting this mansion, so that Monsieur Master has a place to return to.
So she took back the mansion for Mr. Master's sake?
Kate, I'm so sorry. I was powerless. It's not your fault, Monsieur Shields. I couldn't do anything either. All I can do now is continue to protect the mansion. I collected Pierre Hoquet's work from all over the world.
Pierre Hoquet. That's Mr. Dover's alias, correct?
Yes. It's the name he used when he worked as a sculptor in France.
About collecting his works. How did you prepare the Taurus and Gemini sculptures? I heard that Mr. Dover passed away before he completed those two sculptures.
I had the sculptures in the Winter Palace specifically made, based on the photos I took.
Oh, could you tell us about that in more detail?
After all, it was my dream to open Zodiac Art Gallery.
Probably some more testimony after this.
Opening the Zodiac Art Gallery was your dream?
The truth is, I wanted to manage the gallery together with Monsieur Master.
Smooth.
Singing and dancing and all kinds of sweets. That's the kind of gallery I dreamed about.
Was she planning on staging a musical in here?
Geoffrey Master disobeyed the goddess of law. It is unfortunate, but I'm afraid that your dream will never come to pass. No! Monsieur Master is innocent! The prosecutor at the time did not believe it, but...
In order to protect Catherine Hull, Geoffrey Master gave a false confession. They were both trying to protect each other.
I prepared replicas of the sculptures, in the Winter Palace based on the photos I took.
By photos, do you mean the ones taken in Isaac Dover's room?
Yes. You seem quite familiar with the events from 18 years ago, Monsieur Edgeworth. So the sculptures in the Winter Palace were replicas. They melted and I didn't even get to see them once.
No, the Sherbet sculptures shouldn't have been replicas. Miss Hall, is obviously lying.
After all the trouble it took to prepare them, it's a shame they melted.
The sculptures in the Winter Palace are the same sherbet sculptures from 18 years ago. Unless I point that out to her, I won't be able to find out the truth.
Alright. So, real quick, just in case I'm a stupid. Because we talked about the whole fact that the strings were eaten off of it. And don't you think they would have tried to, like, put the strings back on them? Had they wanted to be, like, a perfect replica of what he intended? Oh, balls. Take a look at this piece of evidence.
In that case, would you take a look at my dance too?
No, dancing doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about.
But can't the same be said about what you just said, Monsieur Edgeworth?
No.
Shall I return to my story?
Let me actually. Oh, hey, maybe this has something to do with it. Let me check. Oh, fuck me! I pressed the wrong button. Your statement just now clearly contains a contradiction.
How strange, how suspicious. I don't think so. Not one bit.
Well, the music stopped, so yes. I got caught up in a rhythm. I'd like an encore. Testify for me once more time. Oh, crap. Because this talks about all the constellations and all that kind of thing. And then it also has a map of the entire area, which would be relevant to what she's talking about. I'm not 100% clear on it, but... Damn! This piece of evidence will tell the truth.
Is this one you say? Do you want to make me out to be a criminal that badly, Monsieur Edgeworth?
I am so horrible.
Even going as far as to force your strained logic on me?
Yes. Please don't cry.
In that case, I'll return to my story.
Those tears were fake, as expected of a former acclaimed actress. Were they done based off the photos you took? Fuck me, alright. Get the ditty out of your head. Oh, hello. Analysis result of the liquid from the melted Gemini sculpture. Maybe this is it. Traces of salt, sugar, and blood detected. The sugar matches the light blue liquid found in Dover's room 18 years ago. The sugar found in the fountain also appears to have the same so... I don't are we jumping right off of the, Are we jumping right into it? I don't think so. That seems kind of ridiculous to immediately be like, okay, so if you prepared the replicas of the sculptures, why did you prepare blood in them? Holy shit! Okay. Did you really think that your excuse would continue to hold up? No matter how much you lie, you cannot deny the composition of the sculptures. From the analysis results, it's quite clear that the sculptures in the Winter Palace are the sherbet sculptures Mr. Dover created!
Oi, Miley! As a pharmacist, it's my turn to shine. What we call sugar actually comes in many different varieties and tastes. Even if the sculptures were replicas, it's nearly impossible to replicate the composition.
I see. Thank you for your explanation. Though I don't recall asking for one. Yeah, stop showing off. That, Miss Hall, means you couldn't have melted the sherbet sculptures back then. You stole them and preserved them for 18 years! What? She preserved the sherbet for 18 whole years? If you phrase it properly, it's not impossible.
Silence, please. Miss Curator, what do you have to say? I can't believe you already uncovered so much. So you're admitting that you stole the sherbet sculptures? No, I cannot admit to such a thing. There isn't any proof that I stole them after all. Also, I couldn't have stolen the sculptures 18 years ago. I don't think they would have been easily to steal without the police noticing.
Is that so? I don't know what you did 18 years ago. As such, how can I judge how difficult it would have been to steal them?
Looks like you won't be giving up so easily.
I don't intend on giving up until I learn the truth.
I understand. Then I shall tell you what I did 18 years ago.
Oh, really?
On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging. During the judging, at Monsieur Master's request, I went to change the film in the camera. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur Dover's body. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation. It was then that I witnessed Monsieur Gustavia entering Monsieur Dover's room. And that was everything I had done on that day. I don't think there's anything suspicious about my actions.
That's not your decision to make.
Mr. Edgeworth, were there any contradictions in her testimony?
For now, I should just prove that she stole the sculptures. But when could Miss Hall have stolen them? If I can answer that, her crime should come to light. Keep that in mind.
How can I prove the time that she stole them?
But I've wasted half of my health on that one question. So now is the time to put down another safety net, I think. The good news is that this game is actually very, very nice on health. Like, it gives a lot of wiggle room. And sometimes you need it.
On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging.
What were you doing before the judging began?
I was in my room on the second floor, practicing my dancing. I was performing on the TV show Piece of Cake back then.
Piece of Cake? What kind of show was that?
It was a children's program. The hosts made sweets while singing and dancing.
Ooh, that sounds like fun!
Certainly would be. Well, that's unexpected. You knew about the show, Miles?
My father told me about it once, so I just happened to watch it a few times. I wasn't obsessed with it or anything. It's not like I danced in my PJs to it once. Shut up.
So Miss Hall was practicing her dancing in her room.
Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then?
Oh, we're gonna be doing it here. Okay, I see what we're doing. I'll think about this.
It couldn't have been then. I should listen to more of her testimony.
During the judging, at Monsieur Master's request, I went to change the film in the camera.
So you're the only one who could move freely during the judging period?
I certainly would have had more freedom to move about than the contestants. However, I couldn't possibly have stolen the sculptures right in front of Monsieur Master. Moreover, upon being asked to change the film, I went directly to the entry.
At Mr. Master's request, she went to change the film in the camera. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then?
I don't know yet. I'm going to take a look at the other ones.
It couldn't have been then. I should listen to more of her testimony.
But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur Dover's body.
So you entered Mr. Master's room before you delivered the camera?
Yes, I heard the sounds of something breaking, you see. Monsieur Master, are you in there? Eek! Scare!
That was actually the sound of the ship breaking. Someone snuck a bite of it, you see.
When the body was discovered, was Mr. Master still judging Mr. Gustavi's room?
I am sure that he was. Monsieur Master is the type of person who would carefully judge one room at a time.
She found Mr. Dover's body inside Mr. Master's room.
I don't think so, because again, he would have been judging at the time. So maybe, maybe not.
After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation.
Did you do so in the same manner as today?
Yes, I poured tea for everyone working on the investigation.
Now that you mention it, Uncle Ray also got some tea from you that day. Kate was pushing her service cart back and forth from the patio to the main building.
I see. Did anything seem strange to you then?
Well, I remember your old man singing praises of her Ceylon tea, and he also said something about how the saucer was chilled.
The saucer was chilled? Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then?
I'm pretty confident about this one, but... Actually, technically speaking, I didn't really need to save there, because I already did. Oh, whatever. It's not too bad being, like, save crazy. Especially with this game.
This was when you stole the sherbet sculptures!
I'm sorry, but Monsieur Shields and company were at the fountain patio the entire time. Are you saying that I stole them in broad daylight?
That's precisely what I'm saying. This is where she hid the sculptures to steal them right under our noses. Their noses, rather.
The cart!
Neither my father nor Mr. Shields realized the sculpture was right in front of them. What you were pushing around was no ordinary service cart. It was the sculpture itself!
But surely that would still be impossible. If she placed the sculptures on the service cart, people would notice immediately.
I never said she used the service cart to move the sculptures.
What? What do you mean? Then what did she use to move the sculptures around?
This is what Miss Hull used to transport the sculptures. Oh, this is obvious.
And this is...
This is the lift trolley Mr. Dover used 18 years ago to move his sherbet sculptures. It seems the same lift trolley lies here in the fountain patio.
That cart! It has many stories to tell.
That's because it was originally prepared for the contest in the first place. Are you saying she used the lift trolley to move the sculptures?
Yes. If the sculptures were placed on this lift trolley and then covered with a tablecloth, it could be disguised as a service cart and moved without arousing suspicion.
Harf!
How could that be? So the saucers were chilled because they were sitting on the ice sculptures.
Keep sweating, lady.
Kate, what's the meaning of this? What were you thinking? That was truly impressive.
Actually admitting?
You certainly are, Monsieur Gregory's son. After 18 years, it's hard to imagine any proof that I stole the sculptures remained. But I knew it was only a matter of time until I was suspected.
I don't know, this seems like really conjecturous. It's not really proof per se. But then again, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, video game.
Miss Curator, does this mean you admit to stealing the sculptures? Yes, I admit it. 18 years ago, I stole the sherbet sculptures from Monsieur Dover's room. It's just as Monsieur Edgeworth says. I disguised the lift trolley as a service cart, and I served tea as I made my way back and forth. That was not all. I also took the ice block with all the star clusters on it.
An ice block with star clusters on it? That seems familiar. A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. No, the inside must be hollow. The Winter Palace is a reproduction of Mr. Dover's room from 18 years ago. Because they had melted, my father never got the chance to see them. But those blocks of ice were also originally from Dover's sherbet salon.
The 2 sculptures and the 2 blocks of ice. I took everything I could. And then I placed empty glass cases, in Monsieur Dover's room. The sculptures were all encased in glass to preserve their final details. But the ice blocks were being displayed as they were. As per the rules, we prepared the glass case for Mr. Dover.
So it would have been easy for her to prepare the glass cases.
In Monsieur Dover's room, there were some sculptures that were still unfinished. I thought if I melted them, it would look like the ones I stole had melted too. So everything you see in the Winter Palace are all original works from 18 years ago. Miss Hall, it didn't take much to get her to confess.
Then she must know. She knows it isn't enough to try her in court.
That is all I have to say. But even though I admit to stealing the sculptures, you can't arrest me for it.
What? What do you mean by that?
Heavens! You're assisting an investigation without knowing this much? Perhaps you should read this book concerning the Statute of Limitations.
Yay!
Statute of Limitations?
Yeah, that's a fun little bit of knowledge. She's in the clear for at least 3 years.
To put it simply, it's the time frame in which a suspect can be taken to court. You can see it on this page.
15 years. Theft, 7. Oh, hey, bring them back!
Statute of limitations for murder is 15 years, and for theft it's 7 years.
That's right. And Miss Hall's theft was 18 years ago. According to the statute, she cannot be arrested for stealing the sculptures.
Then again, she also probably can't be tried for this murder either.
But she can be tried for the poison gas, so there's one thing.
So that's how it is. Stealing evidence from a crime scene is an unforgivable offense. However, for this crime at least, we have no right to pass judgment. It appears that Prosecutor Edgeworth's trepid reasoning has all been for naught.
Oh, please tell me you know something. I wonder about that. I deduced Miss Hall's action simply to expose a different crime. If she only took the sculptures, we wouldn't have found the body from 18 years ago.
Are you saying that I hid a Monsieur Dover's body?
That's correct.
There's gotta be some legal statute for that one, too. To be like, oh, you hit a body that was murdered. Interesting. But how can someone hide a body for 18 years?
I would imagine it would be very difficult under normal circumstances.
So you're saying the circumstances weren't normal? Are you claiming that you know where the body was hidden?
When you consider Miss Hall's actions, the answer becomes obvious. 18 years ago, Miss Hall stole something more than just sherbet sculptures.
If you're so confident, I would like to hear your answer. Where did Miss Hall hide the body?
Alright. Can't save here, so crap. I'll try and remember to save at some point along. Okay, where did Miss Hall hide the body? Well, obviously this body needed to be preserved fairly well. I kind of think it might be the lift trolley again, because the lift trolley could have held the body and moved it around. And like we mentioned before, she was moving frantically back and forth trying to serve tea and all that jazz. And I don't think that was done strictly for just giving people tea.
I'm sure Miss Hall hid the body.
Yeah, I'm wrong.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, please show us how she could have done so.
Well, isn't it obvious?
I believe you have confused obvious with impossible, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
No, indeed, it is as she says.
If you plan on disrupting the investigation, I will have you removed immediately.
Before that, could I please have one more chance?
As you wish. But if you continue to be disruptive, I will not hesitate. Where did Miss Hall hide the body?
Alright.
Where did she hide the body? Where did she hide the body? Alright.
It might have something to do with this. Larry drew this sketch just as he saw it. And we can clearly see that it's the blue tarp and all that jazz, so...
I'm sure Miss Hall hid the body here. Nope.
Oh, crap. Down to the wire. I feel like the sketch wouldn't... there is a part of me that feels like the pamphlet might show... Like, maybe I can, like, bring the pamphlet out and then point to a location. That is possible. Ah, balls. My brain is melted. Just like those statues. Man. Wow, it was in the Winter Palace. That's weird. I'm having a hard time seeing you being able to hide us. Okay, we'll see how this works out.
This is the photograph of Mr. Dover's sculptures.
Yes, and perhaps you've noticed that the victim's body can be seen in this picture.
I do not see it. Please point it out clearly. Where in this picture can one see the body of the victim?
Time to expose the location of the body. Oh my god. Would you have enough time? Wow. I just had a fun little thought. And it's real scary if it's right.
The Gemini sculpture?
Yes. While it may look like the Gemini sculpture at first glance, in reality, this is none other than Isaac Dover himself!
This ice sculpture was the victim's body. But all I can see from this picture is an ice sculpture statue.
That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to conceal it.
Conceal it? Which piece of evidence did Miss Hall use to conceal the body?
Boink!
Oh god! This is the cloth that was covering the sculpture in the Autumn Palace.
This cloth manipulates light. With it, it's entirely possible to make something look like ice. Isn't that right, Delicia?
Yeah, see. When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. And when it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice. That cloth will only emit light when it is attached to a special device.
Judge Courtney, look closely at the picture one more time. Beneath the Gemini case lies a box-shaped object attached to the pedestal.
This is
a rainbow light device. Detective Gumshoe reported one in the Winter Palace. This is the device that went missing 18 years ago. Originally, it would have been attached to the cloth inside the glass case. Naturally, Miss Hall took the device with her when she moved the sculptures.
crafty shit.
By using the rainbow light device to make the fluorescent cloth glow, Mr. Dover's body was made to look like an ice sculpture.
That's ridiculous. So then when Uncle Ray took a photo of the Winter Palace...
That's right. The body had been in front of us all along, disguised as Gemini.
However, the body and the fluorescent cloth were both discovered in the fountain. If the ice sculpture was the body, we would have found it in the Winter Palace.
If we had found it there, her trick would have been revealed immediately. Miss Hall moved the body out of the Winter Palace to prevent us from discovering it.
Absurd! You say she threw the body into the fountain without any of us noticing.
No, Judge Courtney. There was no need for that. She simply used the same method as before. Remember the lift trolley? She moved the body to some other room and dumped it into the stream. Dumped into the stream to the fountain. Oh my god. Naturally, the frozen body would have sunk to the bottom of the fountain. That's why the cloth floated up first and was found by Delicia.
And eventually, the body thawed out and floated to the surface. Monsieur Edgeworth, you truly have a gift for deductive reasoning. However, do you have any proof that I moved the body? Slippery as a snake as always, eh? If you cannot prove that, then there's no way I can accept what you are saying. Wasn't there anyone who saw Miss Hall move the body?
Yes, I believe such a person exists. The answers lie in the evidence that person gave me. And that piece of evidence will reveal the truth of Miss Hall's actions.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you able to prove the crime of Miss Curator?
Certainly. I have evidence that will show exactly what she did.
Then it's time we see your answer. Which piece of evidence reveals Miss Curator's actions?
And I think we know what it is. That person.
Another sketch? Oh, it appears I have been drawn in this one.
This is a sketch Larry drew of the woman at the fountain patio. Women, rather. I would like to direct your attention to the service cart on the left side of the sketch.
Service cart? What about it?
Don't you see? What transpired 18 years ago has happened again. Miss Hall was moving the body in this sketch.
No! Please, wait! I don't see Monsieur Dorma's body anywhere in the drawing. All I did was hand out chocolates to everyone.
The key detail in this sketch is the color of the tablecloth. Up until now, I thought Larry had just made a mistake.
The tablecloth. It's light blue.
It may be light blue in the sketch, but no blue tablecloth exists in this mansion.
Perhaps it's light blue because the body was hidden, still glowing, underneath the tablecloth. What? But the lift trolley is rectangular in the sketch. If she just placed the body in the lift trolley, we would notice it immediately.
There were 2 blocks of ice in the Winter Palace that are completely hollowed out. If she put the body inside the block of ice, it would look like a service cart.
That's...
Miss Hall, you put the body in the block of ice and used the lift trolley to move it, didn't you?
I never imagined you would be able to do so much with just a single sketch. But what if it was just a mistake? Like you said before, it doesn't prove anything.
I agree that alone the sketch is worthless. Once you remove the body, the service cart would revert back to a lift trolley. That's why the lift trolley was left behind in the fountain patio. And without the service cart, there would be no place for you to put your chocolates.
The chocolates I gave everyone,
Until then, the chocolates had sat on top of the service cart, as you gave them away. But when you gave them to us, you took them from your pocket.
Ah, now that you mention it, they were a bit melted. But they were still really sweet and tasty.
So why was it necessary to put them in your pocket halfway through?
That's because...
That's because once the body was disposed of, you no longer had a service cart.
Hold it right there. If she put the chocolates in her pocket and left the lift trolley in the patio, then where did the tablecloth go?
If she had been forced to put the chocolates in her pocket, she wouldn't have had time to dispose of the tablecloth.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, can you answer that for me?
The tablecloth wasn't hidden. It's right in front of us.
Do clarify. The tablecloth used to hide the body. Where is it now?
Oh, dear God. So many layers of this nonsense. And I'm saving now just because I am on a freaking roll. The Inherited Tournament, end part 2. What do we got? It's inside the fountain. It's outside of the patio. Miss Hall has it with her. What would make the most sense? I don't think it would be inside the fountain, because if it was inside the fountain, it would float to the surface. Outside of the patio. Hold on a second. Outside of the patio. Well, he did mention that it was right in front of us. I don't think it would be outside of the fountain patio at all in that case. Miss Hall has it.
Isn't it obvious? Miss Hall is carrying it with her out in the open.
Oh my God.
Out in the open?
You mean... Miss Hall? You are wearing the tablecloth around your waist! The block of ice was not encased in a glass case. In other words, the tablecloth was in direct contact with the block of ice. If we have it examined, we will undoubtedly find traces of sherbet on it. Miss Hall, you will turn your tablecloth over to the police at once.
There's no need to examine the tablecloth.
Oh, really? Why?
It is just as you say. I stole the poison from Madame Delicia, and I moved the body. I have done terrible things. Madame Delicia, I am so sorry. 1 week ago, I took your Metatoxin X bottle. I slipped it into that man's pocket to make it look like suicide. And if they suspected it was murder, the evidence would point to Madame Delicia. Katie! Kate, what were you thinking? Weren't we always trying to save Mr. Master together? I could not let myself be arrested. Not until I had proven Monsieur Master's innocence. From the very beginning, I had planned to turn myself in once everything was over. But I suppose it's too late to say that now.
Kate, why? Why would you go this far?
Even for Monsieur Shields, I've caused nothing but trouble. For the past 18 years, I've been a criminal. The IS-7 incident. Don't tell me that you were the true culprit. My greatest crime was stealing the sherbet sculptures from my own selfish...
Oh, I skipped that.
When Monsieur Dover died, they were no longer just ordinary sculptures. They had become the final works of the sculptor Monsieur Master so deeply loved. What if they melted before Monsieur Master returned? With that in mind, I couldn't let anyone touch them, not even the police. Even though I knew it was wrong, I moved them to the mansion's freezer. However, I only wanted to preserve Monsieur Dover's art. I did not know his body was hidden among them.
So she stole the sculptures without noticing the body.
Monsieur Master would never take another person's life. But because of me, the body vanished, and Monsieur Master was found guilty. That kind man. He treated someone like me as family. He meant more to me than anyone else, and yet...
Kate.
When Monsieur Master was found guilty, I was chased out of this mansion. I was finally able to claim the mansion just a few days ago, but... When I saw the sculpture still sleeping away in the freezer, I realized that I was the one who hid Monsieur Dover's body. However, the statute of limitations had already expired. Therefore, I could think of no other way to atone for my sins.
It appears I have misunderstood her. It seems she caused this entire incident in order to save Mr. Master.
What you thinking about, Mr. Edgeworth?
There's one thing that has been bothering me this whole time. Why would Miss Hall plan a murder with such an uncertain method like poison gas? And the reason she disguised the Autumn Palace to look like the Winter Palace was to make those involved in the incident 18 years ago confused the other two rooms.
I wonder what Kate was trying to accomplish.
She was trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence. In that case, Miss Hall's true objective was...
I'm gonna save again. I'm trying to think about this myself. Oh my god. She was trying to find the true culprit. Probably. Perhaps. Perhaps she was trying to find the true culprit. Miss Hall, were you trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence? You wanted to reveal the true culprit and have the police find the body from 18 years ago. Was that not your true goal? By displaying those sculptures, you'd attract those involved in the past incident. Only 2 people would know where the body was hidden. You and the true culprit. The culprit would have panicked, knowing that the body would be displayed publicly. Yes, and if the culprit really showed up, there's the risk that they'd erase their tracks. In the worst case scenario, they might have even stolen the body. So, how could she protect the evidence while simultaneously luring in the culprit? I see. That's why she made the Autumn Palace look like the Winter Palace. Yes, and then, Miss Hull, you must have thought, whoever opens the Pisces case, believing it to be the Gemini case, must be the true culprit of the IS-7 incident. What? But that means that person is the true culprit? Please wait a moment, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Do you realize what you're saying? Do you intend to accuse that person of being the culprit behind the IS-7 incident? Miss Hall was trying to trap the true culprit. If so, wouldn't the person who fell for the trap be the true culprit? However, I have no evidence to back up my claims. If I make a formal accusation without any proof, it will not end well. I mean, the statute of limitations is over. Like, even if you were to accuse of somebody, there's not much that anyone can do about it. And the only person that's really committed a crime here is Miss Hall at this point. I think Gustav... I think Gustav was kind of... Yeah, I think he made it out. Should I announce the true killer of Isaac Dover? Sure. Left when we were trying to figure out how Kate could have known how to make the poison. Oh wow, you've been gone for a while then. Left when... Wait a minute. You left when we were trying to figure out how Kate could have known to make the... Well, we figured it out because she happens to have the cookbook, that's why. Because she has the cookbook, she knows exactly how to make the poison. We've kind of made the realization that she went and... did this whole body snatching thing strictly to try and find the true killer, and she used the body inside the case, the Gemini statue, as bait. So that's where we're at. What I should do is reveal the truth. In that case, there is no need to hesitate. Yes, that's correct. Judge Courtney, I indict this person as the true culprit behind the IS-7 incident. Gustavia!
Take that!
Dane Gustavia, who fell victim to the poison gas, is the true culprit of the IS-7 incident.
Gusty is...
Mr. Gustavia.
Miss Hall, didn't you believe that if you opened this gallery, the true culprit would come? That's why you set up the poison gas trap, is it not?
You truly have a gifted mind, just like your father. It is as you say, Munch Edgeworth.
Now, would you please tell us the whole truth?
Yes, I have nothing more to hide. I will tell you everything. I set a trap in the gallery to find the true culprit. Before the gallery opened, I left only the Autumn Palace unlocked. At opening time, when I went around to unlock each room, I discovered that the Autumn Palace had been locked from the inside. I knew that the true culprit was on the other side of the door. My hand was trembling.
All that was left was for the trap to do its work.
When I heard Monsieur Gustavia was exposed to the poison gas, I realized he was the culprit. And I thought that if the police had discovered Monsieur Dover's body, it would prove Monsieur Master's innocence. Why didn't you ever come talk to me? There might have been another way. I know that you did everything you could for me over the past 18 years. However, all of this had been brought on by my own crime. That's why I wanted to save Monsieur Master as soon as possible. Kate. Not only that, the police hid the fact that the body was missing 18 years ago. Even if I reported the body, there was a chance that the truth would be hidden again. That's why I caused the incident at the museum's opening, with as many witnesses as possible. I'm sorry. Gregory, Mr. Master, and even you. I couldn't protect anyone.
Mr. Shields, must be tough on him as well.
Cry, shed your tears. The one who should be apologizing is me. Monsieur Edgeworth, Monsieur Shields, I'm terribly sorry. I should accept whatever punishment I am given.
Well, that was attempted murder, madam. So, yeah, that punishment's going to be pretty severe.
However, I must ask of you, please clear Monsieur Master's name.
True love.
The truth that was hidden for 18 years was revealed in an unexpected manner. However, to think that things would end this way.
To be freaking continued? Holy shit. Well, I'm getting, tired, and I am also getting really hungry. Holy crap. How many more chapters are there at this stage? I mean, I assume there's probably, one more investigation. And a bunch of other stuff. I mean, I've been going on for a while. And, yeah, I have been breathing in a lot of oxygen, and I have been screaming a lot. This is the end. You'll go check. I also would like to know just how much more is left. If we're literally doing an entire chapter and investigating again, I don't know if I want to keep this up. We have about an hour and a half left. Oh, God. Yeah, that feels like an hour and a half that would fit really well into just a stream. So, whew. I've been yelling and screaming so much that I'm actually a little bit sweaty. Actually, I'm sort of wondering if the AC is working properly because the room feels warm. Yeah, I'm going to go check on that. And also, I think this will do it for the stream. So, thanks everybody for popping out to stream to say hi or watch for a while. I appreciate it very much. If you want to take a look at the episode after it's done, I'm going to be... I think there are some things I could probably edit and fix. So, I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to be uploading them to the YouTube channel after that's finished. I should mention, though, I'm uploading a video every weekday for at least the next week until I'm all caught up with the backlog that I haven't been uploading. So it's going to be a little while before this one comes out. I think this one's set to... I think this one's going to be set to premiere next Friday on the channel, so it'll be a while before you can watch the VOD there. Until then, I guess, watch it on Twitch. Anyway, I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Tomorrow, I'm lining up to play a little bit of Stardew Valley. That's the plan. I hope that works out, but who knows? Stuff might come up, I don't know. We'll see. Some other stuff, I've been doing Hat in Time mods, and that's been very exciting and very fun. And again, LCL was in the chat, and Elsie made the Ace Attorney mod for Hat in Time. So if you haven't seen that, or heck, if you haven't seen the me do the mod for Ace Attorney: A Hat in Crime, it's one of the Hat mod specials that I did. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it might have been the 5th one, something like that. It's hysterical. You should see it. As well as also if you play Hat in Time, you should play it because it's fun. More stuff. What else? Oh god, Celeste. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to Celeste and I'm gonna finish that up, but from what I hear, it's got somewhere around 8 levels in total, and we're currently done with about 6, so I'm wrapping up. It seems like we're getting close, but that game is pain incarnate. Especially for someone like me, who I'm not a gigantic fan of, like, Super Meat Boy or something, but good god, I want to see the end of that story. Hungers. I'm going to head off. So again, thanks for coming out. See you next time.